What's up, Tampa? It is Friday, January 23rd, and you are listening to Tampa Talk. I'm doing this one solo today because John is busy with our drop opening, and so we had a really great event this morning. As you guys know, we record on Thursdays, so we had a really good event this morning, an awesome turnout, and just a lot of people really excited about the work that we're doing here. So it was a huge success, and we're moving into our evening open house now. And so it's been a busy week in the work, getting everything up and running. But for this week in Tampa history, we're going to look back at one of Tampa's most iconic buildings, the Hotel Floridian, now known as the Hotel Flor Tampa. The Floridian formally opened on January 29th, 1927. It stood 19 stories tall with 316 rooms and took $1.9 million to construct. At the time, it was the tallest building in Florida, which is pretty cool, and would actually remain the tallest in Tampa until 1966. And then during World War II, the hotel's bar, the Sapphire Room, became a pretty popular hangout for servicemen training at nearby Drew Field, which was the airport that we know today, to fly B-17s over Europe. Many of those servicemen were housed in makeshift barracks under the bleachers of the old Florida State Fairgrounds, just a few blocks away. And the bar's reputation earned its nickname, the Surefire Room. So by the 1980s, the once Grand Hotel had fallen into a bit of a decline and actually closed its doors in 1989. They worked to restore the building for 7 years and finally reopened it on July 30th, 2012, as the Floridian Palace Hotel. And the original rooftop sign, discovered in storage during that process, was stored and returned to the roof in 2008. And I actually had the privilege of going to a wedding recently at Hotel Flor. And it's really cool to know that this is kind of the backstory behind that space being open to the public today. A really true comeback story for Tampa. Getting into some modern news, this one I think a lot of people might have heard all over the radio, but the Hillsborough College Board has approved a non-binding agreement that could bring a Tampa Bay Rays Stadium to its Dale Mabry campus. And so the framework outlines a plan that would involve tearing down some existing college buildings and constructing a new campus on the southwest corner of the 113-acre parcel near Dale Mabry Highway and Lois Avenue. The college would oversee construction of what's being called the College District, which officials describe as a standalone project from the stadium and surrounding mixed-use development. It's all still in the early stage, but it's a significant step behind this long-running conversation of where will the Tampa Bay Rays end. So I'm sure we'll continue to have more news for you there. Florida lawmakers also are in conversations about new legislation known as the Artificial Intelligence Bill of Rights, aimed at placing guardrails on how AI technologies are used. And so the proposal focuses on transparency, privacy, and protections for children. It would limit how AI systems collect, use, or sell personal data, applying rules to both government and private agencies. And one provision was restrict the use of a person's AI-generated name, image, or likeness. A major component of this is that child protection, and so giving parents more control over how minors interact with AI-powered tools online. The bill has drawn bipartisan support, though critics do raise concern that some parental access provisions could lead platforms to collect even more data. And then others argue that the bill doesn't go far enough. So we'll kind of see how this shapes up to be. I think this stuff isn't inevitable. I remember almost a decade ago now when there was a huge call for this kind of regulatory work with AI. And at the time, I don't think people understood the impact besides the people that were really familiar with AI. And obviously nowadays, well, everybody's using AI. It's become a lot more clear to lawmakers that there needs to be better railings, safeguards around this work. And then this will be probably a little piece of the news that we'll continue to talk a lot about, but Tampa will elect a new mayor in 2027 as Mayor Jane Castor is term limited after her reelection in 2023. So while several big names are rumored to be considering a run, 4 candidates have officially filed the paperwork so far. So here's a quick snapshot as to who is in the race currently. So we have Alan J. Henderson. He is 23 years old and would become the second youngest mayor in Tampa. So there was actually, like way back when, a mayor who was inaugurated at 23 years old. But Henderson is a Brandon native. He holds an MBA from Golden Gate University and is the founder and CEO of Dilemma Esports and Entertainment. He was actually the first to register for the race. Julie McGill is a contractor and real estate broker who says transparency and fiscal accountability are central to her campaign. She previously ran for the Hillsborough County School Board in 2024 and is now focused on evaluating city spending and reallocating funds towards infrastructure improvements. Then we have Mr. Reginald B. Strachan. Originally from Miami, he has lived across Florida and says his diverse experience has prepared him to serve Tampa residents. His platform emphasized increased funding for academic resources, vocational training, and higher median incomes for essential professions like teaching. And then finally, we have Mr. Kadeem R. Abdi, who declared his candidacy in December with a focus on public transportation, law enforcement reform, and affordable housing. His goals include expanding bus routes, improving community police relationships, and increasing oversight to protect tenants from unfair housing practices. So it's early to be talking about this, but this is the starting lineup, I guess, for our run for mayor. And so if you're looking for events happening around Tampa this weekend, we are officially in Gasparilla season, and the Children's Gasparilla Parade will take place on Saturday, January 24th from 12 to 7:30 on Bayshore Boulevard. This is an alcohol-free Gasparilla celebration for families, featuring the, 125 floats, pyro cruise, and the pirate battle, complete with pyrotechnic explosions. Then we have the traditional Gasparilla Pyre Fest taking place Saturday, January 31st. The invasion will take place from 11:30 to 1, with the Parade of Pirates taking place from 2 to 5:30, again on Bayshore, with over 100 floats. It is one of the country's largest celebrations. And then if you're looking for something outside of Gasparilla, this evening and Saturday, there is the PBR Tampa event, which is professional bull riders, which will bring high energy competition and family fun. Tickets are about $50, or that's where they start. And then if you want to catch us this week, we'll be out at Harvest Hope from 10:30 to 11:30, and later in the day at the Ybor Street Community Garden from 3 to 5. So please stop by and say hello. And that's what we're talking about, Tampa. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoy the show, please comment, rate, and share at tampatalk.xyz. It really helps us to, continue to improve this show for you all. So until next time, and hopefully with John, y'all be good.